Before you take another step, I want you to hear this deep in your spirit. My child, my timing is perfect. I am not late. I have never been late. Every sunrise, every tide, every season, every heartbeat, they all moved to the rhythm I set before time began. You look at the clock and you see delay. I look at the cross and I see destiny. You see the years passing and wonder if I have forgotten. But I hold time in my hands. I am the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega. No door will open before its time, and no promise will expire because of waiting. What I have spoken over you will come to pass, not a moment too soon, not a second too late. Remember, my beloved, I am never hurried yet, I am never slow. My word says in Habakkuk 2:3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. The vision, the promise, the breakthrough you've prayed for it is moving toward you even now, though you cannot yet see it. Just because you don't see movement does not mean there is no progress. Seeds sprout in silence, babies grow in hidden places, and faith matures in the soil of patience. You cry, Lord, why so long? And I whisper, because I am preparing you for what I have prepared for you. Do not mistake my preparation for abandonment. Do not confuse my pruning for punishment. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. The roots must grow deep before the branches can hold the weight of fruit. And the fire you feel is refining gold, not consuming it. Think of Abraham. I told him he would be the father of many nations, yet 25 years passed before Isaac's cry filled the tent. Think of Joseph, who dreamed of leadership as a boy, but walked through betrayal, slavery, and prison before the palace gates opened. Think of David, anointed king while still a shepherd boy, yet chased through caves before he ever sat on the throne. What they had in common was not speed, it was faith. They trusted my timing more than their own plans. You have been praying, you have been fasting, you have been knocking, and still the door seems closed. But listen, my delay is not denial, my pause is not punishment, my slowness, as you call it, is mercy. For there are enemies you cannot yet see that I am removing from your path. There are battles you are not yet ready to fight that I am defeating before you arrive. And there are blessings I am enlarging so that when you finally receive them, you will be able to carry them without fear of losing them. Isaiah 60:22 says, when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. Not when you think you're ready, not when others tell you you're ready, but when I know the soil is rich enough, the roots are deep enough, and your heart is strong enough to hold the promise. I am not interested in giving you something for a moment. I am building something in you that will last for eternity. So, my child, stop watching the clock and start watching me. Stop asking when and start asking who for if you have me. You already have everything you need while you wait. Waiting is not wasted when it is done in worship. Delay is not empty when it is filled with devotion. And the wilderness is not barren when my presence walks beside you. I know your tears. I have counted them. They are not forgotten drops. They are seeds of joy. Psalm 126:5 declares, those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. Your tears are watering the very ground from which your miracle will spring forth. And when the appointed time comes, the harvest will not be small. It will be pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Do not grow weary. Do not let impatience rob you of the perfect work I am doing. James 1:4 says, let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. If you rush ahead, you will arrive unprepared. But if you stay in step with me, you will see that every second of waiting was a brick in the foundation of the blessing. And know this, in your waiting, you are not alone. My Spirit is interceding for you with groanings too deep for words. My angels are ministering to you, strengthening you for the day of fulfillment. And I myself am holding your right hand, saying to you, do not fear, I will help you. Isaiah 41:13. The enemy wants you to believe the silence means absence, but the silence is where my whispers grow loudest. So hold fast, stand firm, lift your eyes, for your redemption draws near. And when the day arrives, and it will, you will look back and say, the Lord's timing was perfect. Not one word failed, not one promise fell to the ground. You will bless the delay. You will thank me for every closed door, and you will know beyond all doubt that I was working for your good the whole time. Listen, my beloved, there is something sacred happening in your waiting, even if you do not yet recognize it. Every moment you feel like nothing is changing is a moment where I am changing you. I am shaping your faith to be unshakable. I am refining your love to be pure. I am strengthening your endurance so you will not collapse when the weight of your blessing rests upon you. I have told you before I am the author of your story, and I do not skip chapters. The pages you wish to tear out, the long nights, the unanswered prayers, the seasons of silence, are the very pages that will make the ending more glorious. If you remove them, the testimony will be incomplete. What you call delay, I call design. What you call waiting, I call weaving threads of grace, mercy, and divine order into a tapestry that will display my glory. You see, my child, there is a reason you cannot rush the sunrise. The earth must rotate, the darkness must pass, and the light must come in its appointed moment. If the sun rose too soon, the balance of creation would be broken. Likewise, if I gave you what you desire before you were ready, the very blessing you long for could become the burden that breaks you. This is why my timing is not just good, it is perfect. So when you feel the pressure building, when impatience gnaws at your soul, when you hear the enemy whisper, God has forgotten you, I want you to answer with the truth of my word. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. The stillness is not the absence of movement. It is the presence of trust. It is the declaration that you believe my plan over your panic, my promise over your perception, and know this: in the very place you feel forgotten, I am the most present. In the desert, I am the water. In the storm, I am the anchor. In the fire, I am the fourth man standing beside you. Even in your darkest night, I am your light. The enemy cannot remove you from my hand, and no delay can undo my purpose for you. So breathe, my child. Let my peace guard your heart. Keep your eyes on me, and you will see, when the moment comes, it will all happen so suddenly, so beautifully, that every tear you cried will be answered with joy. And you will finally understand why you had to wait and why it was worth it. Do not fear the silence, my child, for the silence is not my absence. It is the sacred space where I prepare the miracle. Seeds do not grow in noise. They grow hidden beneath the soil, in the dark, in the unseen. And just as you cannot hear the roots as they push deeper into the earth, you may not always perceive how I am working in you. But I assure you, I am. There is a time for the seed, a time for the root, a time for the stem, and a time for the blossom. You cannot skip the root and go straight to the bloom, For without the unseen strength beneath, the flower would fall at the first wind. This is why your waiting season is not wasted. It is where your roots grow strong enough to hold the weight of your calling. I know you have looked at others and wondered why their prayers seem answered while yours linger in the air. I know you've asked why their doors open quickly while yours remain shut. But you must remember, their race is not your race, their calling is not your calling, and their timing is not your timing. I am writing a story with you that will speak of my faithfulness in a way only you can tell. If I rushed it, the beauty would be lost. Do not measure my faithfulness by how quickly I move. Measure it by how perfectly I move. When I parted the Red Sea, it was not too early and not too late. When I brought Joseph out of the prison, it was not a day sooner than the appointed time. When I came to Lazarus, I came after 4 days, not because I was late, but because I wanted to show that I am the resurrection and the life. John 11:25. My delays are never denials. They are divine appointments. So keep trusting, keep praising, keep believing that every single detail is under my control. The door you are waiting for will open, and when it does, you will know that it was not random chance, not human effort, but my perfect timing that made it possible. And when you tell your story, others will find hope to wait for theirs. My child, you see the waiting as a delay, but I see it as alignment. I am aligning people, resources, and moments in ways you could never orchestrate on your own. Every closed door is protecting you from a path that would have led to harm. Every not yet is preserving the joy of the moment when my yes will finally come. Think of the ark Noah built. It took years, and the rain did not fall until the day I commanded it. Think of David anointed as king, yet tending sheep for years before the throne was his. Think of Mary, who carried the promise in her womb for 9 months before the world met the Savior. My timing is not random. It is precise, deliberate, and always perfect. You fear missing your moment, but no one who walks in step with me can miss what I have ordained. The enemy may try to rush you into impatience, but my Spirit will anchor you in peace. He will remind you that your times are in my hands. Psalm 31:15, and nothing can snatch them away. So instead of asking, when will it happen? Begin to ask, Lord, how can I be faithful while I wait? For the one who remains faithful in the waiting will be ready in the moment of release. If you trust me entirely, then my child, act now as if the promise is already in your hands. Sing as though the victory has been won. Give thanks as though the door has already opened. This is not pretending, it is faith in motion. Faith calls the unseen into the seen, Hebrews 11:1. Faith does not wait for the walls to fall before it shouts. It shouts, and the walls fall. When the Israelites marched around Jericho, they did not shout because the walls were already crumbling. They shouted in obedience, and the crumbling came after. When Peter cast the net at my word, he did not see the fish before he threw it. The abundance came in response to trust. So I say to you, move in alignment with what I have spoken, not with what you see. Speak life over what looks dead. Sow seeds in the ground that looks barren. Prepare the room for the blessing before you hear the knock at the door. And as you do know this, every step of obedience becomes a stepping stone toward the fulfillment of my perfect timing. Your faith is not wasted. Your waiting is not wasted. And your God is never late. Yes, my child, the moment will come like the turning of a page you didn't even know was the final one in the chapter. One day, It will look the same as every other day. The sky will not give you advance notice. The calendar will not mark it in red. But suddenly, the doors that stayed shut for years will swing wide. Suddenly, the chains that felt welded around you will fall without warning. Suddenly, the prayers you whispered through tears will bloom in front of you vibrant and alive. This is how I move, not because I delight in secrecy, but because my suddenness reveals that it is me and not chance, not man, not your own strength. Isaiah 48:3 says, "Suddenly I acted, and they came to pass. You will see my hand and know it could only have been me. So live ready. Keep your lamp filled with oil. Keep your heart free from offense. Keep your hands open to give and receive. For in a single moment, what was barren will be fruitful. What was broken will be restored. And what you thought was the end will reveal itself as the beautiful beginning I had prepared all along." You see them as wasted years, as wrong turns, as mistakes that pulled you further from your calling. But I see them as the very roads that brought you to the place where your heart is ready to receive. I have never been hindered by your missteps. I have used them. I have turned them into classrooms, into furnaces of refinement, into wells of compassion you never would have drawn from otherwise. Romans 8:28 is not just a comforting verse, it is a law in my kingdom. And we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are called according to His purpose. All things means your triumphs and your regrets, your obedience and your repentance, your mountaintop moments and your deepest valleys. Nothing is wasted. I am the Redeemer of lost time. I am the restorer of broken paths. I am the God who can take the long way around and still get you there right on time. And when I do, you will see the path you thought delayed you was actually the very one that prepared you. In the stillness, I am doing work that cannot be rushed. I am building a trust in you that will not collapse under pressure, a faith that will not be swayed by storms, an intimacy with me that cannot be broken by the noise of the world. This is why I call you to be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. When the answer does not come as quickly as you hoped, when the doors you expected to open remain shut, when the promise seems far, that is, when I am teaching you to lean on me, not on the outcome. Because if you only trust me when you see results, your faith is tied to what I do, not to who I am. But when you trust me in the silence, you are saying, Lord, you are enough even before the blessing comes. And that is where your heart and mine become one. That is where you learn to walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5:7. Shall I continue with the part where God begins to reveal how His timing weaves every detail together perfectly